What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Maverick here with another episode of Yakusoku no Neverland. So, last episode, we see Rei and Emma, and of course, Gilda and Dawn and all the other children, currently on the run from their pursuers, the demons and whatnot, and they are actually right on their tail. I wasn't expecting them to be, I was actually expecting more of a sort of survival situation out in the wilderness. I wasn't expecting the chasing party to be that relentless, but I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Especially with, you know, Rei and Emma being these top tier, what do they call again? Sacrifices? Food? Or, you know, whatever it is that they're called, right? And apparently they are now getting some help from a very unexpected party, right? Mujika and Sonju, two apparently demons, but they are instead helping the humans instead. I do hope that we will learn a bit more about the world as a whole, and, you know, why exactly there are demons more so on the human side, or perhaps not exactly quite on the human side, but let's just say they do their own thing, right? Any society is bound to have its outliers, its loners, etc., etc. Let's see if that's the case, or there is something deeper behind all of this. Alright, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. Done. Oh. Starting with the opening, eh? And I almost forgot to mute the sound. Rabbit. I mean, if we are going to continue starting with the opening, I'll probably need to skip this from now on. No, I don't like, not that I don't like it. It's just, you know, wouldn't want to waste everybody's time. Especially since you guys can't hear the music anyways. And I really can't, you know, play the music because I will absolutely get copyright struck. Is that literally just like Akiyama Kiro? Like, is that what they're called? I actually don't know this group. I like it though. I mean, very J-rock / J-pop-esque, you know. Japanese rock music just has that, especially the mainstream J-rock music, just really has that distinct sound. Alright. Nah.
もうとっくにされてると思う。
それより俺たちにはエマとレイを助けてもらったことの方が重要だ。恩人だ、信じようぜ。
みんな行き渡ったわね。はーい。
御恵み清き糧、今この幸いを祝わん。天と地、命に感謝し、いただきます。
いただきます。
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 Saying prayers. To whom, though? I wonder.
おいしい。
まだ起きていたのか。
今いい？
構わんが。
I would have actually thought Sonju to be more of the, the silent type, to not say anything, and for Mujika to be the one who explains everything. I certainly wasn't expecting him to be this talkative.
気にするな。お前たちの警戒は正しい。鬼にとって人肉は特別。ことにのうはな。ほとんどの鬼は人間と見りゃ唾垂らしてかぶりつく。全部敵だと思うくらいがいい。
じゃあ、あんたたちはどうして？
信仰のためさ。
Religious reasons!
人間以外は何でも食うがね。
Including other demons? Yeah, heretics of the society. See, there's always gotta be outliers in every society, right? But who set up this religion, right?
それを聞きに来たんだろう。
教えてもらえる？30年前、人間に何があったの？世界は今どうなっている？
Oh, do tell. Do tell.
何も起きていない。30年という数字がどこから出てきたかは知らんが、世界はもうずっと昔からこのままだ。
どういうこと？
ひょっとして、ここは地球じゃないのか？ここは別の惑星で、だから奇妙な生き物が。
いや。
なら暦が嘘か？今は2046年でなく、もっと。
いや、ここは地球で、今は紛れもなく2046年。人間の暦の一つでな。
それじゃあ、
一つ昔話をしよう。
昔話？
Alright, you guys got all night.
かつて世界は今よりずっと広かった。その広大な世界で鬼はあまたいる人間を狩りくらい暮らしている。食うものと食われるもの。鬼を恐れひれ伏す人間もいれば、憎み逆に狩り殺す人間もいた。彼らはやがて食われるよりも多くの鬼を殺し、鬼もまた人間を憎むようになった。終わらない殺し合い。果てのない恐怖、互いに嫌気がさした頃、人間側から一つの提案が持ち出された。約束を交わそう。人間は鬼を狩らない。だから鬼も人間を狩らない。お互い世界を住み分けよう。すべての始まりはこの約束だ。これにより世界は二つに切り分けられ断絶した。ここはその時分かれた鬼側の世界。ついでに言えば、お前たち
Oh, really? So they've been breeding them as livestock, basically, right? Yeah, that makes... Okay, that kind of makes sense.
グレースフィールドはその中でも最上級に位置する一つ、多種多様ある農園のトップだ。約束からおよそ1000年、世界の姿はほぼ変わらない。
二つの世界。
約束。鬼と人間の。
I mean, it kind of makes sense, though. Yeah. That means that there's actually... Yeah, if they can get to the other side. Oh, oh. Did they die out? There's gotta be some smugglers and whatnot, right?
いや、そう聞いただけだ。
でもあるんだろ、人間の世界は。
ああ、そう聞いている。
じゃあ大丈夫、見つけるから。生き方も場所も探して絶対見つける。ありがとうソンジュ、元気出た。
そうか。それならまあよかった。今日はもう遅い。寝なさい。
うん。
明日からはこの森の抜け道を教えよう。出口まで無事送る。
ありがとう。おやすみなさい。
Hmm. Yeah. See what Ray did yesterday?
大丈夫。この道は見つからない。
Or is this yesterday?
地下道はと俺が
Or 2 days ago.
中は迷路で出入り口は俺とムジカしか知らない。
私も迷うわ。
だいぶ進んだな。
農園の奴らはこの森に詳しくない。このまま進んで森を抜ければいい。
ムジカたちはこの森に住んでるの？住んではいないわ。旅をしているだけよ。各地を転々としているの。水のイソギンチャク。
よく知っているな。この先にこいつの群生地がある。そこで休憩にしよう。
はい。1000年前の人間と鬼の約束。
約束ってそういう意味だったのね。
今まで俺たちが本で読んだ世界はここじゃなかったのか。それに農園はグレイスフィールドだけじゃなくて他にもたくさんあるらしい。
Didn't they know that already?
ひでえ話だ。助けなきゃな、他のみんなも。
うん。そのためにミネルヴァさんに会って鬼のいない世界へ渡る方法を聞く。そして準備と体制を整えてフィルたちを連れ出し、他のハウスの子たちを助け出す。それから全員で人間の世界へ行く。
そんなにうまくいくのかな。僕らの脱獄だって簡単じゃなかったのに。
確かに。うん。私もすんなり行くとは思ってない。でも希望に形が見えてきた。
Yeah, at least there's hope, right? You know, if the whole world was completely
誰一人死なせない。
took over by the demons, then there'd nearly be no hope
そのための道が見えたんだ。
beyond, you know, just being like, just hiding from day to day.
ああ、もう一度脱獄だ。
なるほど。なんとそっちの方角へ行きたいのか。だったら森を北側から抜けて回り込んだ方がいい。
北から？ここから南東にまっすぐ進むと森を出た先に二度野良の縄張りがあるの。
Wild
そ
demons.
の点北から回れば荒野があるだけ。遠回りにはなるが5日もあれば森は抜けられる。その後は1日歩けばお前たちの目的地だ。その間少しだが覚えるといい。俺とムジカで教えよう。この外の世界を生き抜く最低限の知識と技術を。
Damn, they're really helping a lot. I know they're not killing them for religious reasons, but
ありがとうアンナ。エマ、ちょっといい？私エマに伝えたくて昨日からずっとうずうずしてたことがあるの。何？
具合が悪くなったら
ギルダ？いい？倒れるまで我慢とかダメ。絶対ダメ。返事は。
good job, Gilda.
エマはいつだって無茶が過ぎるのよ。耳切るのだって当初の計画にはなかったし、勇敢なのはいいけど死んだら終わりじゃ。無茶しすぎんな。ごめんなさい。でもじゃない。
言われてる言われてる。
レイもだよ。大鳥になったって聞いた。あのトカゲみたいな鬼も一人でやっつけようとするし、追って相手に鬼ごっことか正面の鬼じゃない。レイは目を離すとすぐ死のうとする。待って俺はじゃあソンジュに聞いてみよう。
あれは10-0で死んでた。
That's funny.
死なないから。
泣かせた。心配したんだよ。
I mean, maybe he wouldn't have died, but he definitely would have been captured.
急に倒れたりするから。ギルダ。
エマとレイが俺たちのこと心配してくれるように だよ。
あ、ドンとギルダも泣きそうだった。
助けがいるならそう言って、辛かったら我慢しないで。お願いだから。
We're all in this together.
私たちだって、私たちにとって大切な家族なのよ。私たちだって頑張るから、なんとかするから。だから、お願い。ありがとう。ごめんね。ごめんね、みんな。
Okay. But there's still one thing that they really need to ask, though. Like, what is this religion that Mujika and Sonju follow? Like, why was their religion set up in the first place?
なんでどうやったらこんな美味しくできるの？
別にムジカに教わった通り作っただけ。
嘘だ。なんかすげえ全部適当だったじゃん。
じゃあ才能だわ。
ちくしょ
火は僕たちが起こしたんだよ。お芋つぶした。お団子作ったの。みんな初めてなのにとても上手だったわ。さあ、席に着きましょう。はーい。いただきます。
どうした？
いや、ご飯が美味しいって幸せだなって。
Like, why don't they think about asking them, like, why do they have this sort of religion where they don't kill humans? That's actually super important. They can kill everything else, but not humans? Like, who set this religion up? What's the teachings of this religion? Like, are all followers of this religion allies of humans in a way? I mean, yeah, sure, they're doing all this and whatnot, right? But come on, you can also use the spare time to ask questions as well, right? Wow. Well, Emma was always the more.
周りの様子を見てくる。これから一度地上に出て川を渡らなくてはならないからな。
気をつけて。ソンジュ、お願い、私も連れて行って。外の世界を見ておきたい。
わかった。だが絶対に俺とこいつから離れるな。
うん。
I feel like they might be found here.
川自体は水深も浅い。水は冷たいが歩いて渡れる。問題は追っ手だ。
違った。
それでいい。常に気配を探れ。敵が潜んでいないか。いたらどう逃げるか。
わかった。探すし考える。
それで、お前の目的は？ただ気分転換や下見がしたくてついてきたわけじゃないだろう。
教えてほしくて。
何を？
How to fight?
殺し方。この数日教えてもらった。料理、食べられる植物の知識、薬草の知識、そして弓や森の使い方。でも、まだ自分で生き物を取ってない。二人とお別れする前にちゃんとできるようにしておきたい。肉も魚も野菜も果物も食べ物はこの先ちゃんと自分の手で取って食べられるようにならなくちゃいけないんだ。動物を取って殺して食べる方法、狩りの仕方を教えてください。
戦わなければ守れない。仲間も、お前自身も。
Yes, it's dead. You took the life of a living thing.
うまく仕留めた。次 グプナだ。
グプナそれ
気をつけて持て。ビダという吸血植物だ。
What?
これを獲物の胸に刺せ。神に糧を捧げる。
Dedicate your...
神が受け取ったら花が開く。そしたらその肉は食べてもいい。
Isn't that also...
俺たちの伝統的な肉のほふり方だ。これは血抜きも兼ねている。
Drain the blood, preserving the meat longer. Oh. And yeah, that's what...
そうでなきゃ血抜きにならん。大丈夫。気絶している。苦痛はない。やめておくか。
食べられたくない。生きたい。でも私たちだって食べてきた。この先も食べなければ生きていけない。
And then it turns red, right?
花、妹の胸にも刺さってた。
見たことがあったのか。
うん。そっか、この花、生きてるうちに。
Damn.
コニー、
Yeah, all the way.
セリ、ノーマン、痛い思いしてないといいな。怖い思いもしてないといいな。
グプナは神への感謝だ。敬意なしには成立しない。安心しろ。お前の兄弟たちもきっと苦しい思いはしていないよ。
I don't know why, but I just keep thinking of Latum. Yeah, see? The flower. Ah.
うん。ありがとう、サンジュ。エマ、何か変だよ。どうしたの？何かあったの？なんでもないよ。大丈夫。
Damn. Ah, that was nice. I do wonder... Okay, so I don't really think there's too much else after this, so let's just skip this for now. I'll see you guys after this. Wow, guys, this was absolutely a fantastic episode in terms of the world building and stuff, and also for us to really get some more information so we can start theorizing about the different, the different aspects of the story, right? Like, I know that I've heard from some people that they considered this particular episode to be a little bit more boring, but to me, this is way more interesting than anything else they could have put out for this episode. So we get the story, or the supposed backstory of this world now, and funnily enough, it actually makes a frighteningly amount of sense, right? Because if humans, demons, they keep killing each other and whatnot, and for humans to say, all right, hey, look, we don't want to be hunted by you guys anymore. You just stay over there, and we'll even send you some of our, like, maybe some criminals or whatnot, right? We'll give you some criminals as a sign of our goodwill and whatnot, but you guys just stay over there, right? And we will be over here. That way, both sides won't won't fight against each other, won't kill off each other, etc., etc. And it makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, for the demons, on their side, they're basically just breeding the humans just like we breed our livestock, right? I mean, sure, you could kind of argue about the whole, if they, intelligence and so on and so forth, but, when it comes down to it, for demons, humans are not demons. They're not of the same race. They're not, we don't consider demons humans, and demons, they don't consider humans demons either, right? So, to them, it's like a completely different race, and it's entirely reasonable and logical to do this kind of stuff, to breed them, and then eventually, breed them for the purposes of eating them, right? I'm not gonna get into all the moral qualms and all that, but I'm just saying that it's definitely really relatable, considering that we do consume a lot of meat as well. We breed chickens, we breed pigs, we breed cows, and etc. etc. Everything, fish as well, and at some point you gotta say, no, where's the if you really take a stand against this and all that, and aren't you just being a hypocrite and whatnot? It is a little bit more nuanced than that, but for the basics of stuff, it kind of really makes sense to me that there would be this kind of condition here, right? Now, with that being said, though, obviously there are still a lot of questions that I have, and is this world really this way? Is this really what happened? That's actually a lot of question marks that I have. I'm not actually saying that Mujika and Sonju are purposely misleading Emma and Rei and all the other children and whatnot, but they might not have told the whole truth simply because they don't know the whole truth, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes, they are just some vagabonds. You could consider them I don't know, they're like hermits in a sort of way, right? They're not eating humans for their own religious reasons. They're living away from the normal demon society and whatnot. So how are they to know the real truth about the entire world and whatnot, right? It could entirely be a case where the entire population is controlled to a certain degree, or maybe they just don't know better, right? So we definitely have to take this with a grain of salt. Not anything against Mujika or against Sonju, but just because they might not know any better, right? And why is there reason to doubt all this? Because it actually, there's a lot of flaws with this sort of system, and also a few things that don't really make sense here, right? So, say for instance, or at least there might be more stuff happening beneath the scenes. I definitely don't buy into the fact that humans and demons don't have any kind of contact with each other, because I mean, look at the technology we saw all the way in all the way back in season 1, right? What the farms look like and whatnot. If what Sonju said here was actually true, and the world has been this way since 1,000 years, if the year is 2054, that would mean that was like what 1054 AD, right? Which is about the time of like William the Conqueror and all that. We got the end of the Viking Age and so on and so forth. That was like really really early on in human history, and we definitely did not get that kind of technology all the way back then. But are you actually proposing that since these 1,000 years, and for the demons themselves to have create their own technology and stuff, that they went through the exact same sort of technological advancement as humans did, as we know from our current world? I find that very hard to believe, right? Not to mention that a lot of the gadgets they make, I don't really think they fit the anatomy of demons either, right? Demons are definitely, they have different kinds of appendages, they have different kinds of limbs and fingers and whatnot. If they were actually to, if there are actually demon scientists as well, and, technological advancements made by demons, I really don't think that they would make the exact same kind of gadgets that humans make, like the gadgets that we know and, we consider familiar to us, right? So there has to be something wrong with this. Either it's not really 1,000 years, or, the world isn't really divided into, or another possibility is actually that, there is contact between humans and demons, like some sort of, under the ground kind of contact and whatnot, where human goods are smuggled through to the demon side and maybe vice versa and whatnot. There might be this kind of situation happening here, right? And especially, this might also explain what this William Minerva guy actually is. He might be a part of this, underground sort of trade system that exists between the humans and demons. If we are to accept the fact that there are these two sides of the world, and and on one side, and they are split in the middle, right? So we have all that to consider now. I mean, I can't really pinpoint like which theory is more correct right now, but definitely, just as it is, as we can hear it being described by Sonju, there's definitely some problems with it. I don't really think it makes a lot of sense to have this kind of system, and yet to have all the things that we saw back in season 1 and all the way up to here as well, right? It definitely, it's kind of, there's definitely a discrepancy there. So there is definitely a lot more to the story than we initially know right now. So that's just the first thing, right? And I mean, sure, it's nice and all that they have like a goal and whatnot. I expect the next major development will come once they actually reach that William Minerva guy and then learn a little bit more about this world and etc. etc. Right? So, but let's just keep that in mind. This is definitely, I definitely do not believe that this is how the world actually is at this point. And even if it were, right? Even if it were, then there's a lot more problems as well, and a lot of other stuff that I feel is kind of logically there's some logical flaws in all that. Like, for instance, how can we make sure that the two sides will never have contact into each other, or for one side to secretly prepare to invade the other side and whatnot, right? Like, for demons, couldn't they consider, hey, maybe if we go over there and invade the human kingdom and whatnot, surprise attack, sneak attack and whatnot, and then we can actually, enslave all the humans, so we have all the meat that we want, right? We control the world, we control all the human meat, everybody gets to eat all they want, right? Or the same for the human side. Like, are humans, by our nature, are we going to allow such a dangerous presence to be right next door to us for this long and not do anything about it? Might not make any contingency plans about it? I find that hard to believe, right? And especially for 1,000 years as well, for nothing to happen. Either there's So once again, either it's not 1,000 years, or it's a completely different situation than they were describing, or there may be some like really big, I don't know, like a really big wall dividing the two parts or whatnot, which neither side can really go through. There like maybe some defensive fortifications or whatnot, which would also serve as like a big hurdle or a big obstacle that Emma, Ray, and the others are going to have to overcome in order to get to the other side, if it actually exists, right? So, anyways, we got all that to consider now, but the TLDR about all this is I definitely don't believe the situation is just as Sonju is describing. There is a lot more to all of this. The next part, I guess, we can talk a little bit about Emma's development, and before that, right? Also, Mujika and Sonju. I can't believe that nobody is asking them, like, where did your faith come from? Why do you guys practice this faith while other demons don't? Are there other people that practice the same faith as you did? How did this faith come to be? The history of all this, right? Because it's really, really important, right? I can totally understand a religion where you don't kill anything at all. Right, we have the Buddhist religion in our current world where it forbids killing any living thing, right? Even like fish or insects or etc. No, you can't do it, right? They're all living things. You can't do it. You have to be a vegetarian, etc., etc., right? So for a religion to be here that says you cannot kill humans, but everything else is fair game, that there has to be more backstory to all of this, right? Like, who set this religion up, and why does this religion exist? For what reason do they not kill humans, right? Is it, also out of respect for the humans' intelligence and whatnot, so we should consider them peers to demons and so on and so forth? I mean, if this kind of religion exists, couldn't that also potentially be, a part where, at the very least, you could try to consider followers of this religion, practitioners of this religion, your own allies, and for a more nuanced approach, maybe you want to dig deeper into say, why was this religion founded in the first place? The one who founded it is definitely a human sympathizer or whatnot. Maybe that demon knows a little bit more. What if the one who was behind all this was actually a human themselves, right? So, we got all this other conspiracy theories to go over and whatnot, and I can't believe that for both Ray and Emma, they never thought to ask about this specific situation. But I mean, considering that they are children and all, but maybe if Norman was here, he would remember to ask Soju and Mujika, like, why, like, how did this religion came to be? Why did you guys practice it? And so on and so forth, right? Considering that they already seem pretty chummy and pretty friendly with the two demons already, really getting to know each other, really trusting each other, I can't believe that they never actually talked about this yet. And this is important, alright? And then finally, of course, we have the entire situation with Emma, you know, her first kill and whatnot, Ray looking on concerned. We see Emma's eyes sort of like die there. You know, she's like, oh, I've lost my innocence, I've killed my first living being. Does this make me a hypocrite because I'm the same as the demons as well, right? What's the difference between us and them? You know, we're also killing meat for food and they're doing the same thing, etc., right? Obviously, we're probably going to go through that entire, you know, thought process and whatnot later on. I mean, that's just something that she's gonna have to get over, right? Hey, game fights back, right? When you hunt something, you know, if it's a fair game, well, they would hunt you back, and you know that's basically the situation here. So, I mean, I'm not gonna go too much into that, but I did like the entire portrayal of all that sort, and we finally get to know the meanings of that flower as well, and why it blooms red, and so on and so forth, right? So definitely some pretty fun stuff out of all of this. And so yeah, I think that's it for this episode, but definitely there are some major developments here that I really hope that they can further, you know, they can dig deeper and give us more clues, more information about all this. But like I said, perhaps, you know, unless they are going to ask these questions to Mujika and Sonju, you know, perhaps the next time we get a major development will be after they eventually get to the designated place and ask William Minerva, whoever the heck or whatever the heck he is, right? I know that's probably not going to be easy, considering, you know, this is the second time that we saw the demons looking at, you know, the pursuer demons looking at what Ray left as a message, you know, back when he was about to be captured and cornered and all that. And I do think that might be significant somehow. Maybe the coordinates that they are writing this in is not actually secret coordinates, but actually common map knowledge, right? No, we definitely have to take that into consideration. Alright, that's it for episode 2. Thank you guys. This was a super interesting episode. Let me know your guys' thoughts and theories on what is actually happening to the world and all that, and I will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.